So it is Monday, June 8th, and we're going to do a three-card tarot card reading. We're using the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot deck. Okay, so the first card we pulled is the Four of Cups in reverse. And the Four of Cups is essentially about maybe wanting to feel like you are capable of doing things on your own when it comes to emotions and not necessarily wanting to ask for assistance and guidance from other people. Kind of feeling more comfortable with escaping from what is going on around you. Maybe it's an emotional burden or an emotional weight that you're carrying, and you feel like refraining in reaching out to other people or refraining from talking about it, you think might actually help or lessen the pain and the grief that you're going through. So I would say that a lot of people, I think that they can handle these emotional burdens by themselves, but sometimes they need a safe place and a safe forum to talk about the things that they're going through, especially if you're carrying like the weight of the world through your emotional heart center. Not talking about it sometimes makes it heavier, and not reaching out to other people or letting other people know what you're going through sometimes is so much to take on. So I would say if you're trying to find your footing in this emotional whirlwind that you're in, that maybe at this time, you know, maybe not reach out to 3 people or 2 people, maybe just confide in that one person, and or maybe even like seek out a therapist, but talk to somebody. And if you don't feel comfortable in speaking to somebody, because a lot of us have like private lives and don't necessarily want people to know what's going on in the privacy of our own home. So if you're one of those people that don't feel like you want somebody outside of your home to know what's going on in your life, then I invite you to get a journal, a diary, a notebook, and just jot down some of those emotional burdens that you're carrying around, because it might lessen what you're going through. The second card that we pulled is the Ace of Wands in reverse. And the Ace of Wands is you feeling like you're very far removed from finding a new path and a new direction in the way you want to move and the way you want to start living your life. You might feel kind of swallowed up by this emotional turmoil and this emotional baggage that you can't see the space that you're in and find the clarity in where you want to move. So it might be difficult for you to kind of see yourself outside of yourself. And with that being said, having a difficult time not only seeing a new beginning and a new path, but even believing that this is an opportunity for you, that you may think, that this new direction that you need to put yourself in is just so far away from where you are now that you think it's just never going to happen, or you just can't believe it. You can't see it, and it doesn't seem reasonable or likely, because the card is coming up in reverse for us. The next card we pulled is the Nine of Wands in reverse. So this evening we pulled all reversals. The Nine of Wands is about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and trying to put on your brave face and your strong face, doing it by yourself, not allowing other people to assist you. Maybe it feels safer that way, kind of building this wall around you so that you're not allowing any more pain to come in, into your life. But sometimes we cause unnecessary detours by trying so hard to put ourselves in that safe space and protect ourselves. So, because of the emotional burden that you're carrying, you may put yourself in this cocoon of a protective shield, this armor, this strong side of you, and it's like you're taking 3 extra steps when you don't need to. I think when people are going through, because it seems like this is kind of, for the overall reading for everyone this evening, kind of like an emotional directive that we're looking at, right? So maybe you're going through more than one thing at a time. Sometimes, like if you've ever looked back at something in your life, you look at a time in your life where you're like, wow, I was really going through a struggle at that time, and I came out of the other side of that, quite okay. We don't really see it when we're in it. We seem to be swallowed up like quicksand, and we seem to be sinking, or feeling like we're sinking faster and faster, and it's getting deeper and deeper and harder for us. So because there's 2 things going on, it's like we almost have like all of the burners on our oven lit, and we're like just trying to tackle everything that comes at us. So maybe there's 2 big things going on in your life, and then there's like a lot of little things, and it just adds to it. It's just like, toppings and toppings into everything that you're, cooking up. I think when there's so much on your plate at once, it's hard to get any kind of mental clarity. And if you are going through something emotional, and then you're trying to also find your next step, your footing, that direction, it just becomes harder, and you feel like you're getting swallowed up by life. So I would say your best bet right now would be to, number 1, talk about it with somebody that you feel safe around. Share with them what you're going through emotionally. And if you're trying to find your footing, maybe go to somebody who's gone through something similar and really see, how they worked around it and how they got through it, because you might gain some insight and guidance from speaking about it with somebody that you feel that you can trust. Again, as I said before, you don't need to speak about it with 3 people, 2 people. You could just speak about it with 1 person if you're a private person. If you're not so private and you don't mind sharing, then definitely reach out, especially because it's the 4 of Cups, and it sometimes makes me as a reader feel that the querent is feeling alone and isolated, and that's never a good feeling, and I'm sure you're not alone, and you probably have an army or a team of people and you don't even realize it. Sometimes the people that you don't think are in your corner really are in your corner, and sometimes the people that you think would be in your corner when you need them really never were going to be there for you, because either maybe they're selfish, or they're, what's another word for selfish? Selfish, or they're, I don't want to say greedy, but they're just so worried about themselves, and they don't really, necessarily know how to show up as the friend that you need them to be all the times that you showed up for them. So that's our 3-card tarot card reading this evening. Again, it's the 4 of Cups, Ace of Wands, 9 of Wands, all in reverse.